Okay, this is the creation of our raised starlight headliner, a real popular feature for our customers in the car.
The starlight option adds over $12,000 to the sticker price.
What?
Hey guys, what's going on? So it is part 2 of the DIY stealth camper build, and today I'm focusing on the lighting solutions, and I've decided to go for the Royce style fibre optic twinkle lights, which I've got behind me. So this is what you get. You get a loom of fibre optic strands or cables, I'm not sure what you call them, a lighting unit and a little plug that plugs into the power port here. Yeah, so I spent the best part of today removing my old headlining and getting prepared for a job that I've never done before, and I watched a few videos and I picked up a few tips and tricks which I'm going to pass on to you guys, which may or may not help you when it comes to doing your own twinkle starlights on your own headlining. I'm just going to take you in for a closer look at some of the things I want to point out which you may find helpful. Alright guys, so here is the entire headlining of my car. It's black on the underside, and this has been flipped over to the side that you won't see in the car. Now what I've done is I've marked an outline first of all of the area in which I want lights. For this kit that I've bought was 380 strands, and within those 380 you've got 3 different sizes, I think 1mm, 0.7 millimeters and 0.5 millimeter. They become very easily mixed up, so what I've done is I've separated the 3 sizes, and I've run them in cable ties. So this is the thickest one. I think there's only 8 of them. And then you've got these 2 other sizes here, just to keep some kind of order. So that was my number 1 tip. Right, so the next thing I want to point out is I took my 380 total number of lights and I divided that into 4 sections. As you can see, I've put a line running across the centres in both directions. Then I've tried to calculate dividing those dots and put, you know, half the amount of dots or quarter the amount of dots in each corner. The next thing that I did was I calculated what corner of the headlining, because you haven't got much cable, you really need to think about where's the power source on your car. So what I've got here, as you can see, I've marked it very clearly, exit here. This is the rear passenger side of the headlining, and I calculated that my power pack's going to be on the boot on that side. So that's going to be the most sensible place. You may want to think about where you're going to have room to fit this and how much cable you've got before you do this job. So what I did was I got in the back of my car and I calculated from where this roof lining ends here how much I need to get down, you know, the A or B pillar and into the boot, and I calculated I needed at least 30-40 centimetres in the boot. So then I've gone back to the loom to where I've come back to the loom. I've come to the end that goes into this silver box, and I've measured back down the loom 40 centimetres, and then I've put some green frog tape on it. So when I start this project, I've calculated all this before I've even started. This green section should never pass into the roof lining there. I need at least this amount of cable. Now after I've done that, what I've realised is the amount that I've got left coming into this corner to the furthest light up in this corner is I'm not going to have enough, because also you've got to calculate once you've made a little hole in this, you've then got to poke the fibre optic cable through, so that's adding more length or taking away more length from the loom. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to chop this section off, and then I'm going to count the amount of stars in this section and then put them, you know, further into the roof, because I think all that's going to happen is I'm going to try and stretch from there, just for the sake of the sort of 5 or 6 ones at the furthest corner away. I'm going to end up with a really short loom, and that's going to become a problem, so bear it in mind, the length. Now the next tip, which I think was really helpful, is figure out the corner where you're coming into, where it's going to be the closest to your power source, and then start on these holes and work your way out in this direction and this direction, because if you come straight in with a loom and start filling in the furthest sections, the whole of this area is going to be covered in fibre optic cables and you're not going to be able to see where you're working. So if you start off and fan your way out in this direction to the furthest corner from the closest, then you're not going to be working on top of yourself and getting mixed up. It's getting late in the day. I'm going to go paddle boarding and pick this up tomorrow. Right guys, welcome back. So I'm about to make a start on this, never done it before. You've got 3 different sizes which I've separated. I've taken the end of the loom and I've cable tied it. You can cable tie it to anything you like, a chair leg, whatever, but it's going to take the weight off of this loom so it's not sliding down and I can move it around close to the roof liner. So I've separated the three different thicknesses and I've placed them through a different section of this trolley, and I've written down like purple because I've done purple dots, and this will be black dots. So if you look on here, these were all black dots, but I've just gone through and I've divided the purple colour coded strand into 43, 42, 43, 42, kind of spread them out semi-random, semi-equally. So I've gone over, like in this quarter I've gone over the black dots 43 times, in this one 42. So I'm going to start trying to work from this corner where there's a black dot. I'm going to put in the thinnest size fibre optic. Where there's the purple dot, I'm going to put in the medium size fibre optic. And then I've just got 10 of the thickest ones, which I'm just going to place randomly where there's a black dot. But yeah, just kind of figuring this out as I go. Hopefully this whole idea of having an object and a system to divide the separate looms means I can maybe come in and hit 2 or 3 of the black dots, then move that loom out the way, then bring in the other loom and do 2 or 3 of the purple dots. That's what I'm thinking, but just gonna get to it and see how it is trying to do it in you know, just gonna get to it and see how it pans out. Right guys, so just a little update. I've plugged the box in just to check really for my own confidence that it's all still working. I don't know if you can see they're kind of glowing a little bit. Yes, I've done the first few holes and they appear to be glowing or twinkling. And as I come underneath here, I don't know if you can see this, it's so small, it's some of the thinnest cables. You can see the ends of some of them are actually working, so yeah, that's a start. So what I've done is, I've got a little plate here so I don't lose it, and I've got one of these like notice board tacks. So like here where the black dot is, I'll just punch that through, give it a very light little wiggle, poke the cable in, feed it through all the way. Because what I've got is I've got everything cable tied. This is where I need the loom to be outside of the roof lining. That's the length I need to reach my power source. So having this trolley here is giving me the amount of cable I need. I don't know if you can see these cables. I'm just running them, and at the moment, whilst I can, I'm just plonking them underneath this little foam thing to keep some kind of order to it, you know, and little things like this, the plate, so I don't want this rolling off. It's a curved roof lining, I don't want to be looking for that every second. I've got a nail there I haven't used yet, but maybe I might need that for the thicker cables if I'm having trouble getting one through. It's there. Got my hot glue gun there. What I'll do is I'll start on my first purple hole, which is I've colour coordinated it now, so the purple dots are in this section, the black dots are in this section, and even from this side, you can do this with a chair leg if you want to be this organised. I've got thinnest black and medium thickness purple. So come in with a tack, push it all the way through. I'm going to come straight in with a nail this time to widen it out a little bit. Grab the end of this strand. Feels like, there you go. Sometimes you have to pierce it through the other side of the material lining. I'm putting it through from underneath because it's near the edge and it's easier. Take up the slack, glue gun. Right, done. Now I've got the hang of it, now comes the boring part of just doing loads of these. It's not the kind of thing that I enjoyed doing, but it's going to be worth it for the overall effect, so let's get to it. Right guys, we're going to call that a day on that today. I reckon we've done definitely over half. It's looking good. How's it going guys? So back day number 2. I've been plugging away at this roof lining for about an hour so far. It's definitely way over halfway done, but it does get quite tedious. If you're the sort of person that doesn't mind sitting back and just doing something laborious, that's all good. I'm definitely not one of them people, but I'm just going to keep plugging away at it because I want to get this done and back in the car. Plan to get the all the lights finished completely today, minimum. If I can't get a headline in today, they'll be in by tomorrow, but either way I'm going to take you guys on the full journey, see what it's like fully done, and yeah, just get back to it, get these finished. Alright guys, this is a bit I thought I'd get to where I'm going to run out of length of the cable. I've got one of the cables in my hand and it doesn't reach to the furthest corner here. This is why I've stuck this green strip of masking tape down, because I knew I might have to take these holes and integrate them back into here because it won't reach. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to round off the corner here and do the same the other side to match, because I think it will reach to here fine, but it cuts short, so I'm going to need to round off these edges, because I'd rather have enough loom the other end inside the boot to actually be able to hook this up than to end up with all kinds of nightmares because I've covered every single inch to the furthest point. I still think it'll look alright, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Just going to round this off. I'm just trying to decide between going in a straight line, just a little bit less deep, or to just round off these corners. Guys, it is 100% done. I'm not sure how the spacing is, if I've done it good, but whatever it is will have to be now. That's 380 individual strands of fibre optics in this relatively small headliner because it's a 2-door coupe. Yeah, I'm so glad to get that over and done with. Before I flip this over, what I realise I need to do is get some duct tape and move this out of the way of certain things, like where the handrails go inside the car. Might do a little bit of cable tied in here just to tidy it up a bit. Just going to make sure things like these Velcro patches are not covered up. Make sure you haven't got any strands going over any important rubbers or foam bits. Make sure you haven't got any. Going to make sure I haven't got any going over the edge like this. So just going to have a quick tidy up. So look underneath there. Look at that. Right, now I'm ready to flip it up the other way. I've put a few strands of duct tape just to help sort of flatten it down so it doesn't snag on anything, like refitting it. In the middle of mine, depends what car you've got, I've got these little Velcro pads, so I made sure they're clear. Any foam blocks are clear. The little mounting points on the side to fix it back up, I've made sure there's no cables running over that. Pretty happy with that. I've cable tied it back into a loom all through here. I've made it back into a loom so the second it exits out it's nice and tidy. Pretty happy with it, to be honest. Just hope it goes back in alright. But the next thing is, and the last thing I'm going to do, flip it over and then cut the excess off the cables. Guys, so we flipped it over. Look at this. That's what 380 strands looks like. I've got these side cutting pliers. I've not done one yet, so I'm just going to do them flush with the headlining. This is actually quite satisfying and a lot easier than it is installing the other side. So that is almost, what, it's coming up to about 10. So I've only got about 370 to go. So we'll fast forward to the reveal of what this looks like. Completely done. I am knackered, absolutely knackered. So I can't wait to do this. I'm going to get straight on this now and then do the reveal. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so are you ready for the reveal? Here we go, just got to plug this in. I haven't done anything like download the Bluetooth app yet, so still got to do that because I think there's a pure white mode and colour modes and all various different modes, but yeah, really happy with that. Just want to get it back in the car now. I'm absolutely pooped guys. I'm going to call it that for this video. If you want to see this headliner installed in my car, then subscribe to my channel, like the video, hit the notifications button, because I'm doing a camper build on my Mercedes E-Class Coupe, and this will be part of the full reveal. Subscribe to me if you'd like to see more videos and see this installed on the car, but I just thought I'd show you the finished product.